As you begin reading chapter 7, you'll notice Swedenborg says something that he's written before. All receive the heaven that is outside them in accordance with the quality of the heaven within them. So in like manner do they receive the Lord. But he goes into a bit more detail here. He who has heaven in himself has it not only in the greatest or general things pertaining to him, but also in the very least or particular things. And these least things repeat in an image the greatest. He introduces a concept here he calls the ruling love. He writes this: everyone is his own love, and is such as is his ruling love. The ruling love inflows into particulars and arranges them, and everywhere induces a likeness of itself. Now in this chapter he speaks about only one form of ruling love, and that is love to the Lord. But as we read further, we come across others. There is love towards the neighbour, love of the world, and love of self. Now we can think of these loves in this way. Loving the Lord is like loving the most universal and objective principles of goodness and truth. Loving the neighbour is like loving good as it occurs in others, whereas loving the world is loving worldly, physical, and natural things such as wealth, power, and reputation. And love of self, of course, is loving me, my own survival, my own fulfillment, and my own happiness. Now it's important to realise that none of these loves is inherently bad in itself. It depends upon the order or priority that we give them. So the question is, which one rules? For example, the love of self, self-love, is important. It leads me to take care of myself and look out for my own needs, to stay healthy, to provide for my future and provide for my family, and to enjoy life. But it is important that this doesn't become my number one priority. Swedenborg wrote, "Man is not born for the sake of himself, but for the sake of others. And we are not an end in itself, but an intermediate end to promote good." Making myself my highest priority leads me to treat others with disdain and even violence when they don't do what I want or when I feel offended. And often I will justify my actions based upon my rights whilst I forget my responsibilities. In Swedenborg's view, such a life is hell, and we'll meet that again later in this book. Similarly, love of worldly things is important too. For example, having money is useful to help us function effectively in the world, and it means that I'm not a burden upon anybody else financially. We even need money if we're going to be generous. I need to have something to give in order to give something away. But it's the generosity that is important, not the having. Similarly, a person in a powerful position has more resources available to them to do good, but it is the doing of good that is important, not the position itself. So if our love of the Lord or our love towards the neighbour rules over our love of worldly things and love of self, and if the love of the Lord and love towards the neighbour rules our speech and our actions, then all is well. I thought I'd introduce you to this book today, The New Jerusalem and Its Heavenly Doctrine. It was published in 1758, the year after Heaven and Hell. I like this book a lot because it's a simple summary of Swedenborg's entire philosophy. There are a number of short chapters, they're easy to read, and some of the editions also contain cross-references to his larger work, Secrets of Heaven or Arcana Celestia, while other editions leave it out. Well worth a read, go check it out. As regards Swedenborg's influences today, I thought we'd look at music, and I'm starting with the classical composers. Hector Berlioz is one of my personal favourites, and he was influenced by Swedenborg, and we see it particularly in his work The Damnation of Faust. But so also was Arnold Schoenberg, the creator of 12-tone serialism at the beginning of the 20th century. And we even find Swedenborg cropping up in songs by Van Morrison. Go look for the common one. So, what is your life priority? As you look back upon your life, the past and the present, can you see the way your priority leads and shapes your actions? Share your thoughts in the comments below. As always, you're welcome to read along with us or read ahead and post any questions you may have in the comments. Enjoy the journey.